South Texas Amateur Tour Podcast, The Power Hour, with your hosts, Travis Silkowski, Michael Emanuelian, Casey Graham, Jason Bird, and Brad Gilbert.
Hey, good evening, everybody. How's it going? It is October the 2nd, 7:34 p.m. I'm not sure where Jason Bird is. Is he here with me? MD, our usual host, is taking the night off, and you guys get stuck with us today. So welcome to the show, Jason Bird. I love that hat. The Mission Del Lago.
This thing hates the hat. It hates it. Look at it.
It's certainly trying to green screen it into the fake hotel room.
Yeah, because the real hotel room's depressing. Although it has a jacuzzi.
Well, that works. You are coming to us live from the great state of Michigan, I believe. Is that correct?
That's correct. I am in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where it's currently 8:35 and the weather is perfect, just like it was in Wisconsin for us.
Yes, the STX Am Tour team was in Kohler this past weekend. Myself, Casey Graham, Mike Emanuelian, and Jason Bird. And we just got back yesterday, and Jason didn't fly to Texas. He flew over to Michigan to continue working. And MD,
two of the shortest flights ever.
And MD came back and promptly got sick, and we were giving him a medical night off. So, Jason Bird, we got a show tonight. We've got a couple guests in store for everybody. We've got a summer season to really wrap up. We didn't have a show last week, so we've got a summer season to talk about. We've got new South Texas Match Play Challenge team members to talk about. And we've got the playoffs coming up in a week on the Trail Division. And we've got a 2025 schedule launch that is scheduled for the end of this month. And our 2024 presenting sponsor, David Falconer, is also going to join us tonight. So we've got a 2-guest show, and we've got Jason Bird at the helm. So you never know what you're going to get, everybody. Jason Bird, 5 days in Wisconsin is fantastic. Give us a little rundown of your past weekend hanging out at Destination Kohler, home of the 2025 Tour Travels trip.
Well, it's our first time going to Kohler, not in early season, but late season.
It certainly was different.
It was, the fescue was thicker and more mature, but I was pleasantly surprised that the turf itself, like the turf grass on the fairways and tee boxes and greens, was identical. They were fast, they were firm, just like we get in early season. So it doesn't make me wish like Tour Travels was in September, because it's actually just a wee bit easier because the fescue hasn't grown in yet in May.
That's a really good point from a playability perspective. But I'll tell you what, Kohler facilities are flawless, and we discovered a new course to hang out at a little bit. Maybe we think TPC
Possibly.
Wisconsin.
That
Steve
course
Stricker.
was hard as fuck.
Steve Stricker course was absolutely phenomenal. It was flawless conditions, Kohler-esque conditions, and it was hard. I mean, it was river course hard with lost ball after lost ball. It was brutal.
It was harder than river course. It's harder than Whistling Straits.
It was.
If you've played TPC Oaks, it is just like TPC Oaks, except the trees are water. So you can't find your balls if you hit them off the fairway.
That's exactly right. It literally was narrow-ass fairway, one mow path of rough on either side of the fairway. One mower pass. That was it. And then marsh on every hole
every shot. Every single hole was an island hole. Tee box, fairway, and green was surrounded by marsh or out of bounds on every hole.
I lost 4 golf balls.
It was awesome. I think I think I jacked 6 into the marsh. I think.
Yeah, definitely lost more golf balls in that one round than probably 2 or 3 rounds combined.
The rest of the year? Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, crazy. It's crazy.
Of
But
course, it's small.
as always, Kohler represented as amazing and the host of Tour Travels Destination Kohler 2025, which is currently out to last year's guests. So Tour Travels info we'll start to see a lot more of as we progress through the next couple weeks. We'll get the flyers and the letters and the information to returning guests next. Or, I'm sorry, last year's guests first, then past trip guests get the invite second, and then it goes to plus ones, and then general public. Last year was the first year that it made it to general public sales.
It ain't going there this year.
It is, sir. I don't believe it is either. So if you've been on Tour Travels in the past and you get that email and you want to go RSVP quickly, it will sell out fast this year, we believe. Jason Bird, your highlight, other than course conditions, your highlight of the weekend playing.
Well, as you know, I have like a herniated disc, so it's kind of a struggle for me even to get up out of the chair sometimes. I was pretty happy that second day on the river, I was able to, stretch it out, woke up feeling okay, and I played really well that day. I think I made 12 birdies that day.
What?
Yep. Oh, yeah, don't act surprised you were there.
Come on now, 12.
Yeah, I think you turned around on 13 at River, and you're like, what the hell's going on?
I played. You putted phenomenal, and you hit the tee ball good that day, like center stripe, like picking lawnmower stripes, right? Like that's what I say when I'm hitting it good. Like I'm picking lawnmower stripes, and it felt like that's what you were doing that day.
But the first afternoon that we played the river course is my number one. Everybody knows that. It's number one on my list. It is stupid pure all the time. I shot even that afternoon, and MD actually
buried like a 15-footer on 18 to beat me by 1, which was I would. He's not here right now, but I would call that his highlight. But in that round, I made a sand shot eagle on hole number 9, which is a really
That's true, you did.
Which is cool. A really cool hole on the river course. It kind of boomerangs around the river, and it's only 340 yards long. And I hit it into a greenside bunker, and I made it from the greenside bunker. And
there's a huge tree right off. So it's like 16 at rack. There's a huge tree right there. So if you want to go for the green, you have to draw one around it, or you play out safe with like a 5-iron to the left.
And it was downhill the whole way, running away from me from the bunker to the hole. And I hit what I thought was going to be a good shot, and it kind of took some break. And Casey was walking on the green to his putt, and he said, "Oh, good shot." And then he said, "Oh, could go in." And then he went, "Oh, it could go in again." And then he's like, "Nope, it's in." And then it went in. So the play-by-play from Casey is what made it really memorable. So I thought that was really cool. That was the highlight.
It was an extremely slow putt. Slow putt as in time lapse. It's a fast putt. You got to understand how fast the river course greens are. Travis hits it to the top of this knoll just outside the bunker. I mean, he hits it no more than, 2 or 3 yards?
Yeah, I was going to say, like, on the collar. Like, first bounce was on the collar. So I carried it from the bunker.
Takes a solid 40 seconds to completely roll out, and on the second to last revolution in the hole. And it's all in slow-mo. People behind us are like, clock!
It was definitely cool. Definitely the highlight, golf-wise. Definitely the highlight. It was
You
awesome.
just can't get Bermuda like that, right? I mean, just I've never played Bermuda that has that extra 3 feet of tail. I've seen some good Bermuda, but that bent grass is insane.
I agree. I agree completely. That is the course conditions were phenomenal, and they got better each day we played.
Because of the wind, yeah.
Yes, the wind picked up steadily each day we played, and they got faster and faster, quicker and quicker. And
The wind would dry it out, and especially when it came out of the northeast, it really made the greens quick that day.
I thought the straights course was incredibly challenging with the fescue that long. I thought it was crazy, but super excited. Tour travels in last year's guests' email boxes. That's a lot. That's a tough sentence to say for some reason. Tour travels in last year's guests' email boxes.
And they have till Friday, and then we get another round going.
Yeah, I think it's close. It's close. So check it out. Tour travels
I think we're
info
at 12.
coming soon. I think we're at 12. I think we're at 12.
Yeah,
we're
we're
at
at
12
12.
RSVPs through the first 20.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
Let's talk about the regular season on the 2024 Alamo City Golf Trail Division coming to a close. 2024 regular season is in the books. Playoff invites have been sent. Before we talk about that, let's talk about the final 36 holes, which was 2 weekends ago. Not really 2 weekends ago. It was 10 days ago. The 2024 PC Open Championship held at Brackenridge Park Golf Course. Speaking of something that was in good condition, Brackenridge Park played great for that tournament. It was awesome.
I agree.
I was really happy. The tournament moved from Olmos Basin to Brackenridge Park kind of at the last minute, and the trail was able to accommodate that switch. And we had 4.5 hours of tee times each day, and Brackenridge Park looked real good and represented great. And I thought the numbers were pretty low, and
Double Dig won it.
double digit won, half of Champ Flight, under par gross.
It is definitely the easiest trail course now, for sure. After they've made it easier and then renovated Olmos and Riverside.
Yes, for sure. I agree. Let's run down the leaderboard, Jay Bird. Do you have that pulled up, or do you want me to do it?
The leaderboard. I don't have the leaderboard from the tournament.
Okay, I've got the website pulled up. I am ready to go. You got pictures loaded up?
Of?
PC Open winners.
I do not have that.
Okay. All right. Well, we'll just run through the flights then.
Let's do it.
4 flights.
It's disappointing. I love playing Can I Guess the Fourth Flighter. That's always a fun
That's
game.
a good game, right? Of course, I know them all. Let's start in third flight. We'll start the bottom up. Third flight net. Scott Culp, scorecard playoff. 134 is his 2-day score. 142 is even par. So that puts us at 8 under. Third flight net. Danny Puckett, third flight gross winner. 164. Second flight net, Timmy Blunt, dominating victory in that flight. It looked closer than that. Well, Ray Kang was still in the flight, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Do you have that graphic up, Jay Bird? Or do you have that graphic, the 2 winners graphic?
I do not. I can go find it.
Okay. Let's go. We're live on the air, guys. I'm sorry, we're bumping around just a little bit. Let me send you. I know, right? It's awesome.
Listen, we are executing from the Midwest here. I think this is going as great as anyone could ever think it could.
There's that one. All right.
Michigan's not nearly as productive as Ohio.
No, not at all.
I don't know. They hate each other. It's amazing.
Okay, back to the PC Open recap. Those of you just joining us, it is 7:48 on Wednesday. It is October the 2nd. Good Lord, where did September go? We are running down the leaderboard for the final event of the 2024 PC Open. We were on Second Flight. Gross is up next. Second Flight Gross. David Thomas with a one-shot win over Matthew Kawamoto. 2 clear of Charles Romero in Second Flight. The First Flight was tight. Really cool flight, only separated by 3 or 4 strokes handicap-wise. 1, 2, 3 net were all separated by 1 stroke each. Nicholas Garza, Jeremy Semlinger, Dennis Danowski, first, second, and third net. 136, 37, and 38. That's 4, 5, and 6 under. First Flight Gross was won by Mark Kacheski, 2 strokes over Bob North. So Bob North can be beaten.
Bobby North.
That brings us to Championship Flight. Danny Lee won a scorecard playoff over Alex Sertucci and 1 shot clear of John Guerra for net in Champ Flight. And then Brandon Brodowski clipped Stephen Evans 1 stroke for First Flight Gross. Now, when you're playing in the 2-day tournaments on the South Texas Amateur Golf Tour and the Alamo City Golf Trail Division, the gross and net tournament winner come out of the flights. We call those the jacket winners because the traveling trophy is a jacket, a sports coat that has all the names, logoed on the side of each sleeve for gross and net. From Second Flight, the tournament champion net, Ray Kang, shot 65-62. And the tournament champion gross, Sean Vidal, shot 65-67, 132. That's 10 under par. Congratulations to the 2024 PC Open winners and jacket winners. And that is going to bring me to the top 10 in the point standings. So the final point standings come up just like this. Stephen Evans, with his second place finish in the flight, had 30 points enough to win the season. First place, Stephen Evans. Second place, Sean Vidal jumps to second place with his jacket victory. He moved up 11 spots. And this is the cool part right there. Brad Gilbert and Jonathan Harder tie at third.
But Trav, what happens when there's a tie?
Oh my goodness, Jason. Thank you for asking. That's important because the top 3 spots qualify for the South Texas Match Play Challenge team. And because there's a tie, both Bradley Gilbert and Jonathan Harder make the team. And we have to sacrifice that somewhere. And from the Trail Division playoffs, the wild card pick disappears, which was essentially an at-large pick for the person who has earned the most points throughout both seasons and the playoffs and didn't make the team. So that brings us to the next graphic right after we round down the rest of the top 10. Dustin Weldon, Mark Kacheski, Matthew Kawamoto, Dennis Danowski, Roger Murray, and rounding out the top 10, Lee Mull. But Stephen Evans, Sean Vidal, Bradley Gilbert, and Jonathan Harder showing up next on this graphic for the 2024 South Texas Match Play Challenge team.
Congrats to those guys.
Yes.
I played with John Harder. That means he was in the bitch tea time. I don't know what he was doing with me. How did he squeak in there?
Well, it was, if you look at the graphic closely, you'll see he earned maybe just 80 points from the PC Open at Breck. So he had a great regular season. Jaybird, do you have that South Texas Match Play Challenge graphic?
I do. Look, it's the team.
There it is. Ladies and gentlemen, the 11 current team members 9 spots to go. Dennis Stanowski, Greg Graff, and Willie Nichols from the spring. Bob North and Jeremy Jaramillo from the Greater Hill Country division. And Stephen Evans, Sean Vidal, Brad Gilbert, and Jonathan Harder from the Summer Trail division. And then we have David Falconer, the sponsor of the 2024 South Texas Amateur Golf Tour as a whole. And we have Rick Hoinsey as the Elevated Logistics Liaison, the sponsor of the 2024 South Texas Match Play Challenge team. Joining us momentarily to talk about his PC Open win, his jump to second place in the final point standings,
Massive
and his
jump.
record-setting 9th South Texas Match Play Challenge team made. I know, it's crazy. Jaybird, are we ready to bring in Sean Vidal?
I'm ready. I can do it. I can click the button whenever you tell me. I'm hovering over it. When do you want
Ladies
it?
and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Sean Vidal.
There he is. I clicked it.
Wearing the jacket. So cool.
Yeah.
So
He has
cool.
the jacket. I was wondering who took the jacket.
I certainly think that it can go home with the winners each year. I certainly think
Does
so.
Ray have a jacket?
Well, only one jacket, so they got to share, I guess. Thanks for bringing that up, Jaybird. Appreciate
Well,
it.
I believe what really happened was a death match, and Ray was just overmatched.
I
Yes,
said, Ray, I'm bigger than you. I'm taking the jacket.
That is what I believe happened. Yes.
No, he was very graciously. He gave it to me very graciously and didn't want him back.
Well, that's amazing. And we didn't talk much about Ray's tournament, but he played personal best 2 days in a row. Really, really cool. And he actually clipped Timmy Blunt by 1 stroke for the net jacket. Sean Vidal, I am going to work on pulling up your scorecard here. Why don't you walk us through your weekend while we pull up your scorecard and statistics? Tell us let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. I know we're wearing the jacket. I know we want to talk about the team, right? It's all team right now. But let's talk about your position in the point standings before the weekend, which was what, 13th, 11th, 12th, 13th, somewhere right in that wheelhouse. Just
13th.
Yeah, just outside of the top 10. Talk about preparing for the tournament. Talk about seeing the flights, getting that first tee time, and going into the first days.
Well, first, before I even start, I want to just thank everybody who's reached out to me in the last couple, 10 days. I heard from Luke LeGrand. I heard from Casey Carnes, Jonathan Aiken, Doc, Zach Johnson. Just a bunch of guys on tour reaching out, giving me, personal reach outs. Jeremy Jaramillo, Bart Wilson. So a lot of those guys are guys that I really look up to because of their golf game. So it was really kind of an honor to hear back from them. And then I was looking at the names on this jacket, and I was like, Ryan Luna, Landry, Weldon, Jimmy Keener, Freeman, Bailey, Evans.
Freeman a couple times, 3 times.
Freeman's
I think
on there
Freeman,
way more times than I like to see his name
Freeman.
on there, but that's okay. He deserved
Let's
them.
hang the jacket in his office.
So it's an honor to be on the jacket with those names. Those are all great golfers. I've always looked up to them and thought they were, way better than I would ever be. But my round, I go back to Northern Hills, and Dustin played amazing at Northern Hills and put us in a better position going into the PC Open. And so he helped carry us into that victory. And so I thought, well, maybe we have a chance, but we knew we had to finish in the top 3 to have any chance at anything. So to win it was not really necessarily what I was thinking about. I was just wanting to get in the top couple and have a chance to make the
Jason,
team.
can you pull up? I'm getting ahead of. I just told everybody not to get ahead of themselves, and I'm getting ahead of myself.
Cart before the horse.
Myself. Can you pull up the top 10 graphic again? Let's do that math quick.
So hard
Did
not
you-
to get ahead of yourself.
Did you do that math? 5
did math.
points. 5 points, Sean. It was win or nothing.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
That is
Yeah.
correct.
Okay, it was win
First place. Yeah, because first place in the flight is just 200 points. So
Just
he would have
200.
been at 900 points.
at 900.
Yep.
So
That would have been good for ninth place.
yes, and that would not have made a tie. It would have been T2, Bradley Gilbert, Jonathan Harder, and the wild card pick would still. I love the butterfly effect there. Oh, that's awesome. Awesome. Okay. All right. Back to the
Absolutely.
beginning.
Well,
of the-
depending on
Yeah.
who would have actually won the jacket, right?
Yes. That's
I guess it would have been Brodowski
Dustin-
in this
Dustin
world.
Weldon's right there. Oh man. Okay. I'm sorry. All right.
So many simulations to go through.
All
Yeah,
right.
so making the team was really not on my radar. It was just try to finish in the top 3 and, get in position for the playoffs, honestly. So,
Okay.
as far as the round goes, is that what you want to go to next? What do you got?
Yeah. Let's. So we know where you're at. We know you're vying for position in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Did that change your approach at all? Not necessarily trying to win, but just do your best. I mean, I know that sounds a little cliche right there, but did that free you up? Did that remove?
know.
Okay.
I don't know. I think I always try to prepare, and so I just try to do the same preparation I would do for any tournament. And so I've got a couple drills I like to work on, and I just go back to that. And I got a great caddy who helps me out along the course, so
Yeah,
that's amazing. And
We certainly need to shout out
yeah,
Laura.
for sure, she kept me in my own head because, like you said, getting ahead of yourself is a real easy thing to do, especially on the golf course when you feel like you got your game and you're like feeling confident, but that's the one thing that can kind of get you. So just trying to stay in the moment where we're at in that moment. Hit a lot of greens, which always is helpful to me. I hit 31 greens of those 2 days. So
Wow, that's a fantastic stat.
I had 1 3-putt for par. So that was one of the things that really made me mad on the first day is I didn't birdie that hole that I hit number 12. I 3-putted. It was a tough little spot that was on that ridge. Missed a little short one, but so hitting greens and kind of getting the speed of the greens is always helpful for me to play good. So I think that was what really kind of freed me up is when Brackenridge's greens are good, I feel like I can make pretty much any putt I
And
look
they
at.
were good.
Hell
And they
yeah.
were
They're good. They're perfect.
So Saturday, parred the first 3 holes, which I always think is important at Brack, right?
Absolutely.
I played more golf at Brack than anywhere else in the city. And I have also walked off after number 3 at Brack more times than anybody in the city, right? Right? So,
Well,
I mean,
the last time we
I don't
played
know.
Brack, I started off 3 over after 2. So
right?
Yeah.
Right? So even after 3, and then birdie the tough 4th and the tough 5th hole. So 2 under through 5 on Saturday. And then birdied what I'm going to call the easier 8th hole. Right? For up tees,
absolutely.
forward hole location. When
Yeah.
did you know? You made a comment about a bogey on 12. When did you know something special was happening?
Probably not till the back 9 because those 4 and 5 I hit close, so it wasn't
Okay.
really a long putt. And then I got the one on 8, and I was like, let's keep going. Let's get one on 9. And I was a little disappointed I didn't get one on 9. But I was just like, okay, we're in a good spot. So just keep it going. But when I made the eagle on 13, it put me 5 under, and I was like, oh crap. And Laura's like, it's okay. You got this. And, bogey in 14, 14, I hit it
14.
left under the trees. And
Hardest
then
hole of the weekend, hole number 14. Hardest hole of the weekend.
Always
Yeah.
14.
it's always a tough hole. And if you get out of position off the tee, it's really hard to make a par. But I hit it right at the green, made a pretty good chip to about 10 feet, but missed it. And so that was, I thought, oh no, don't start
they
doing
made 14,
this.
so they made it easier, and it's still the hardest hole out there. I mean, took out that bunker right down the left side.
It's that second shot's tough because the wind is tricky. And like I said, if you're not in the right spot on Sunday, I was in the middle of the fairway, and so it was way easier. But
It's a
I hit
narrow
it left,
green
so
too.
Yeah.
Narrow green, left to right wind, no matter which way the wind's going. So you're getting a crosswind no matter what to a narrow green that's elevated. Yeah, it's just
Yeah. So if you miss the green, that's a tough up and down, you know. And I hit a really good chip out of a really bad lie, but I had a 10-footer still. So just didn't make that one.
You had a birdie 16 and 18, right?
So then I birdied 15. I hit that one close, and birdied 17. I also hit that one close. So on Saturday, I didn't have a lot of putts. I only had 28 putts, but 74 feet of putt. So it was hitting them close and taking advantage of those opportunities, which when you hit them close, you feel like you got to make them. You know, if you're inside the flag stick, it's like you got to make it.
Right. Especially in that
agree.
scenario, 13th in the point standings, jockeying for a team, not on the team yet,
No,
jockeying for a position on the team. You mentioned bogeying 14, tough hole, came right back, hit it close or made a big putt on 15?
I hit it close.
Hit it close on 15. That's 65 on Saturday.
Definitely a personal low. Personal low at Brack and personal low, even though Brack is, you know, like Jason said, it's a little gettable right now, but, you know, if you're on, you can get it. But it's still about making those putts. And, you know, there's days you can go to Brack and I can't make those putts sometimes. And then it's like, what's going on? So just, you know, making those putts that taking advantage of those, you know, putts that you can make.
In a 2-day tournament like that, I tend to work a little bit more operationally and do a little bit less, you know, recon on the leaderboard a little bit. So I knew a little bit of what was going on. What point did you take over? I know you're not necessarily the leaderboard watcher, but I damn well know Laura is. So at what point on Saturday did you take over first position and not give it back?
I'm not really sure, but I would guess it's probably on that Eagle on 13.
Somewhere right around that 4 or 5 under.
I'm not sure. Laura would know. Yeah, I tend not to look, and I know that if I was playing with good golfers that day, so my goal was just to keep up with them. I was playing with Evans, and you just try to keep up with him, and so puts you in the moment that you have to hit shots. You don't have a choice because Steve, no matter where he hits it, he's always going to be right there for birdie or par every hole. And
right.
So you have to be.
Yeah, no
there.
mistake, Steve. Right.
Yeah. Yep. So
I agree.
Yeah, I don't know. Laura would have to chime in on that. She's in the other room because we got the dog here and she goes crazy. But I would imagine right about there. And so I was pretty proud of myself to hold together, get through that round, and post that score at the end. It was a good ending.
Right. Look, that's a great comment from Greg Keogh right there. OG Tour GOAT. That's it. I love that.
I love
the
jacket,
mindset
but
of beating the people in your group because that's how I play. If I'm the number one in my group, I'm pretty sure I'm doing pretty good.
So my goal used to always be that, kind of like that, right? Don't lose my golf ball, beat everybody in my group, and then break a certain number, which used to be 80, and then was 75, and so now who knows? But yeah, so beating everybody in your group, you have to beat them to win, right? So that's the first step.
Laura's watching, and she's in the comments. She said she was just taking it one shot at a time and not watching the leaderboard.
That was our mantra, one shot at a time. It really was.
Don't lose a golf ball, huh?
Don't lose a golf ball.
I'm a little sore from losing golf ball this week.
Yeah.
Over under 3 balls lost for Sean at TPC Wisconsin, Trav.
The way he's hitting it off the tee box right now, maybe
God.
getting a senior tee, maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I lost some balls at TPC, so,
There's the comment from Laura that we're looking for.
Yeah.
Can we pull that one in? Beep. I was watching the leaderboard for sure.
She's obviously like 40 seconds behind. It's awesome.
No, but yeah, so she kept me in there that round, and sleeping on that lead was reminiscent of a couple weeks before at TPC, and so I was bound and determined on that next day that I wasn't going to have a performance like that. and just kind of continue to take it one shot at a time. Because
So what do
can't get
you
ahead of
do when you have that lead and you get to sleep on it?
That was my question too.
That's happened to me one time, and I remember being super like full of energy, didn't go to bed on time, only got 6 hours of sleep. Yeah, so I don't know how you handle that.
well, you got certain things you can do to help yourself out in those areas to get sleep. But yeah, I've had it a couple times, and it's not easy always. But you got to find something else to do. You got to distract yourself.
Yes, I love
You
being
know.
distracted.
So find something else to do that you like to do. Yeah, you can help yourself out in other ways.
Yeah, listen, Tylenol PMs. Just pop the
Absolutely.
Tylenol
All
PMs.
in
It's
the
okay.
Tylenol P,
Maybe
yeah.
a Benadryl, maybe Tylenol PM, Benadryl
Something that just makes
concoction.
you sleepy and zone out a little bit.
5 or 6 blue moons can help too.
Yeah,
That works. That
that's
works.
some hard drugs. You may want to stay herbal.
I love that. Sunday morning turns into Sunday afternoon. Last tea time is like 2 o'clock.
Yes.
So I mean, it feels real, right? So not only do you not go to sleep, but you gotta find something to do the whole damn morning until
That's
like
tough.
2 o'clock tea time. Okay, so walk us through your Sunday pre-round and how you're not getting too amped up, but staying ready to go.
So I think we just had a kind of a leisurely morning, drank our coffee, watched our normal political shows on Sunday morning, kind of that same routine, looked at our fantasy teams. Like, again, kind of stayed busy doing what we needed to do on normal Sunday, and then make sure I got to the range plenty early not to rush anything. So just take my time, hit a shot, kind of clean my club, just really take my time so that I'm constantly just going slow, which is another thing we kind of talk about, just going slow. And I hit my balls, got through the course, got some putting in, got to talk to the guys, which is always nice to talk to everybody and get to see everybody. And
Kind of different teeing off last too, right? As an ambassador, you and Laura hang out and volunteer at tour events after you're done playing on a normal basis. So watching other champ flighters tee off isn't something that you guys do a lot.
That's true. Yeah, usually we're first off, so being last off is definitely, it's a change. So you gotta, stay busy and try to make sure that you're, staying in your routine as much as you can. Try not to do anything different necessarily. Just take your time and go through those routines. And so we got a routine. I got a routine I do, like everybody does. They got their routine. So just kind of stick to that, not do anything extra, not do anything less, and then just kind of try to relax. Smoking a cigar before you tee off kind of relaxes me a little bit, so I'll do that. And but the best thing about the whole thing, this whole experience, is obviously making all these relationships, like you mentioned, with the guys, Laura and I on the course, and so just knowing all these other flighters, the fourth flighters, like Birch said, guess the fourth flighter. I guess I can do a couple of those. I helped Scott Culp find a couple balls. Scott Culp, I helped him find a ball.
Yeah.
But he also had
to
he had to call himself on a stroke because it was not in play. So he did a good job of doing that, and so it's good to see him win and some of those other guys. But being around those guys is probably the best part of everything. It's just hanging out afterwards, marshalling with those guys. It's always better to do it after I have a good round.
For sure. Yeah, right. It's certainly better.
So much better.
Yes, for sure. Okay, Sunday 2 p.m. was the goal. Let's birdie the first hole and keep the pedal down.
The first goal was not to hit the tree on the left.
Okay.
So
right.
Down the middle was great. That helped, and I had a good little yardage. And I put a 60-degree wedge in my bag this year, and so it's really helped a lot of shots that come across this year, and I was able to stuff it in there pretty close. So it was a great way to start.
Heck yeah, let everybody know Sean Vidal's here to stay. Everybody that's just joining us with Sean on the air, our viewership has jumped a ton. It is October the 2nd. It's Wednesday night. It's just after 8 p.m., and we are hanging out with Sean Vidal, 2024 PC Open Gross Jacket champion. He's wearing the jacket on the air with us right now. That win, which we are recapping the second round right now. We'll get through that in a minute. And we'll talk about the final point standings with Sean, and we'll talk about the team with Sean. So we are birdieing the first hole on Sunday, which was 10 days ago. 10 days ago now exactly. Birdied the first hole, then birdied 4. That takes us to what? That takes us to 7 under? No.
8.
8. That takes us to 8. And then the lone blemish on the card on Sunday was number 9. Now Sunday's pace of play was weird. It was very weird. And I think it's important to bring up the first 7 holes flowed normal. Then there was a 2-group wait on 8, a 2-group wait on 9, a 2-group wait on 10. And then
it was more than that for ours.
And then 11 through 18 flowed freely. So the difficult par 3 8th, the easy par 5 9th hole, and then the ultra difficult 10th hole with the wind and the flag location. So those 3 holes just kind of weirdly bogged down on Sunday. So that blemish on 9 came in the middle of a 30-minute wait.
Yep.
So we're just adding some context there for you.
There is context. On 8, all 4 of us missed the green. So it kind of gives you an idea on that. And there was that back tucked pin. Still, it's a tough spot. But we all missed the green there. And then 9, I just didn't finish my swing. I just didn't swing through it. And it got a little right on me and went out of bounds. So, on hole 7, I was lucky enough to have my ball found after a couple minutes of looking. It was pretty close to about ready to give up, and little Angel found my ball there, and that helped. Luckily, it was a backup. But, 9 got me. I was still able to birdie it after that, so that was helpful. And I'm just kicking myself going, and I hit my second drive way left, down kind of on one rough there. It's like I should just hit it over here to begin with. What was I doing? What was I trying to hit? Around the corner,
one every time.
Hit it over there, punch it up in front of the green, get up and down if you can. But I got a little greedy, and I was trying to hit a nice fade around the corner, and I just didn't quite finish it. So, but that shot on 10 was tough. It was back there. Yeah, it was back there. So it was a 5 or a 6. I think it was a 6 iron, because I wasn't trying to get to the flag at all. And that was probably the best shot of the day, I think, because I could have easily spiraled and hit another bad shot and just kind of got on it. But I was able to put on the green and 2-putt for a par. So that was a good momentum. Bring it back to, some good momentum on there. But
and then the par, birdie on 13.
Birdie on 13. That was 2-putt birdie. Both Evans and I were on there, and so that was we were kind of going back and forth.
A little skip in the step, leaderboard, maybe condensing a little bit. Steven Evans making a little flare right here. Brandon Rogowski's there. Alex Sertucci was clipping on your heels as well. He had a blemish on 16.
Yeah, he had a bad break on that hole, a little bit unlucky there, and so that helped for sure. And so then I knew it was Steven and Brandon, who's new to the tour. He's going to be a really good player if he comes out there, but he was right there too. And so I was kind of trying to just stay ahead of those guys. That was all I was thinking about.
Birdie on 16. And then it's pretty decided. It's pretty close to decided.
Well, I got to tell you about 16.
I heard there's a great story about 16. I don't know if
Evans said it perfectly in the chat the other day. So, you got that tree in the middle of the fairway. So my play is usually to do a big cut around the tree and play it up 17 fairway kind of and cut it around the tree. Well, I topped it.
And those tee boxes are up. Those tee boxes are short.
It's short
on 16 and 17.
But I can't aim out of bounds and try to hook it. I just don't quite have that shot. So I have to play the cut around the tree, and I damn near missed the ball. I think I topped it. It was right over there, kind of by that bunker on 17 in the rough there. I had about 200 yards to the pin, and somehow I got it on the green. Somehow. And then nobody saw that one, but it was like a 50-footer. I drained right there, and Evans was like, dang, I thought I was going to pick up a shot on you, Sean, after that tee shot.
Or two.
So
yeah,
50
and
foot.
he was up there close, so I thought for sure after I hit that shot, I was like, oh, here we go. I'm going to bogey. He's going to birdie. I'm going to be down, but somehow I made that putt, and it just propelled me to the end, I think.
And then we get to 18. We know you hit the green on 18, and we are all there. There's 50 people there watching, and 2 shots clear. And we were coming up with something like Steve Evans had to walk off ace, and you had to make bogey or something for a playoff or something like that. That's what the math was. And you get up to what turned out to be a 44-footer. We Google Earthed it. And
yes.
you made birdie on the 36th hole to put an exclamation point on your 2024 PC Open gross victory. That gets you to 10 under with rounds of 65 and 67. And we've got that video queued up. We caught that final putt on video. Danny Puckett in Global Fairway Logistics was right there with this one.
The only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. And the only way to do great work is to love what you do. This is why we do what we do.
I love how it just fell in just over the edge.
With an outstanding performance, Sean fired a phenomenal 10 under par with rounds of 65 and 67, finishing with a total score of 132. Introducing your 2024 Gross PC Open Jacket winner, Sean Vidal.
Crazy.
Okay, so video comes out, video goes on the Facebook page, and then the next morning the marketing piece comes out, and you saw it for the first time. What was your reaction as it's starting to set in that you won the PC Open, you're wearing the jacket, you probably wore it to school that day, and you made the team, which we'll talk about in just a second. We're running out of time. I'm getting the text messages from Jason that I'm running behind. Yes. I know. He's on top of it tonight.
It's all good.
And you saw the video for the first time. Where were you, and what was your initial reaction?
I was shocked, really. I mean, but like I said, the best part of that whole video was all the guys that waited around to congratulate me. So just the camaraderie, but just a lot of emotion coming out after last year was a tough year with my dad passing and having reconstructive knee surgery, and just that whole, I think everything just kind of came out. It was just an awesome moment. I never expected to make it, right? I was just trying to lag it up there and tap it in or whatever, but great moment. The video was amazing.
So perfect.
The video is perfect. I love it. A lot of people in my school are like, hey, I saw your video. I'm like, oh, geez, you saw that? And, the one Laura took, there's an expletive in it that's pretty, can't be seen by young people. So I don't know what my people at school are watching, but it was really cool. Awesome. I've just been lucky to have a great support system. My family, I've got a great golf family. My grandpa, my dad, my brother, my whole family supports me. They're all great golfers. Weldon has been a huge influence in my game. Travis, you've been a huge influence. I just feel very fortunate to have a lot of good golf community around me. So,
well, first of all, congratulations on playing like that. Sean Vidal is the STX Am Tour and previously the ACGT Tour's GOAT. I mean, he's got every accolade, every event, I mean, we used to go years and years and years before you're like, oh, I have a birthday party to attend in Iowa. This will be the first event I've missed since 2016. Stuff like that. Like, that's Sean Vidal. And it was so cool watching that unfold down the stretch and the way that putt went in and the hug you gave Laura. And, man, I thought you guys were falling into the bunker when Kacheski jumped on you. I thought that could only go bad. But it was really cool. And that win propelled
The knee held up.
Yes. And that win propelled you to second place
Crazy.
in point standings, which, Jay Burr, pull up that match play graphic one more time for me, which that second place finish in the point standings qualified you right there in the second column for your record-setting 9th South Texas Match Play Challenge team. 9 teams you've made. Sean Vidal, that's freaking cool statement. I think next up is maybe Casey Graham with 5 or 6. Dustin Hassan is right there with 5 or 6 as well. But 9, Sean, what does that mean? What does that feel like? We'll talk a ton about the South Texas Match Play Challenge in shows coming up soon as we gear up for that event in 5 weeks against Houston.
Well, for everybody that's been on the team, they know what it's like. It's an amazing experience to play in that format with other golfers from another city who you kind of have a rivalry with, and you make friendships with people on your team. I still call my partners Pards. I see Workman, he's Pards. I see, whoever my partners have been, they're my Pards. So you make those bonds, and that's really awesome. And you get to spend some time with their families, which is cool to kind of meet their families and see where they come from and what they've got going behind them. And because, golfers need a support system. It takes a lot of time to do this, a lot of time to do this. So you need somebody who's going to support you on it. And that's our family. So it's great to meet all those guys and their families, and the experience playing those matches is, just over the top. You feel like you're, in some sort of pro format with all the crowds and the uniforms. It's just a really amazing experience. And if you haven't been on the team yet and you're sitting there close, get your game ready, because it's definitely something to work for.
Sean Vidal, everybody, second place, summer final standings, right there down the stretch through the Greater Hill Country Division point standings. Of course, he reckoned with in the playoffs, up in his 2 points. That's what I'm doing. And record-setting South Texas Match Play Challenge for the 9th time. 9 out of 11, which is truly phenomenal. Less than a 2% chance to make the team statistically. Sean Vidal, the tour's GOAT. The Power Hour podcast platform is yours for a minute, if you'd like.
Oh, I think I've said probably way too much, right? But like I said, thank you, Travis. Thank you, Bird, MD, all the ambassadors, Brad Gilbert and Mark do so much for the tour in the mornings, helping you set up. And then Bird behind the scenes, MD with the podcast. I mean, we got a really good thing here, and we need to keep it going. So, tell your friends, get everybody out there. It's best thing around for as far as amateur golf goes around, play on this tour. We get tournaments every other weekend, keeps your game sharp. All the guys you meet, friends, connections you make. I really can't say enough about it. Like you said, I've missed one tournament in last, I don't know how many years, but it was worth it. I got to see my nieces in Minneapolis, and it was amazing. So I wouldn't trade that for anything. And, thank my dad up above. I really feel like he was there with me last weekend, and I'm pretty sure he kicked that putt in on 18. So
we appreciate you, Sean.
Oh, cool. Well said. Well said. Everybody, Sean Vidal, welcome to the Match Play Challenge team for the 9th time, buddy. Thank you for joining us tonight. Awesome interview.
I got one more thing to say. Let's go blue!
Or is it a Michigan chant or a Cowboys chant?
It's blue. We're blue.
That's what I took it as too. That's what I took it as too, for sure.
They've always been blue. They're red. Aren't they red?
They are historically they're red and we're blue.
Yeah.
Absolutely. That's the way we are in the
Because
leaderboard
you're
for sure.
Bird.
We were black
Get your head
one
out of
year.
Michigan.
The uniforms have been a couple different colors, but on the leaderboard, we are blue and they are red. Oh, that's the first ever uniform. That's the 2014 uniform. God, that one was terrible. Oh my God. That shirt was great. But the pants that year were, oh my goodness. Look at how bad those pants are.
Look at Travis.
Well, lucky for you, you get to see him on November 8th.
Woo! But I'll tell you what, you knew where we were that year for sure. Sean, thank you so much for joining us. It was awesome. It was awesome watching you. And again, congratulations, bud.
Thank you.
See ya.
Wow, Sean Vidal, everybody. Holy crap. That golf wall behind him is super cool. We didn't want to cut that interview, that segment with Sean short very much. We went over a lot. We're going to talk about the playoffs coming up for just 1 minute. Playoff invites are out. Top 50 from spring. Trail division, top 50 from summer. Trail division qualified for the fall Alamo City Golf Trail Division playoffs. Those emails have gone out, and you have exactly 1 week to RSVP left for the playoff series. Playoff invites in email boxes. General newsletter going out tomorrow about the playoffs, where the STX AM Tour Playoff Committee will open the non-RSVP'd spots to the next on the list. So if you are interested in participating in the playoffs and just missed it, email info@stxamtour.golf, and your position in the regular seasons will dictate your place on the waiting list. There will be spots for sure, so email away. We are pretty good with the waiting list. We're pretty good. I counted just before the show, and we are at 74 RSVPers, 74 of 100 with 9 declines, so there'll be at least 9 on the waiting list let in. At least 9. Do we have a playoff graphic loaded up, Jay Bird?
I do.
Terrific. That is the starting playoff point standings. This is found at stxamtour.golf under the playoffs tab. That is roughly the top 20 in point standings. Do we have the calendar one? Round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4?
No, I don't know what graphic that is.
It was in the email I sent to MD before the show. I don't know how long it takes to put that in.
Oh,
but as we're looking at this playoff graphic, point standing wise, this is a cool one to talk about because those names in red are already on the team. And the top 7 from the final standings of the playoffs qualify for the team. So right now, Mark Laz, MD, Andre Danny, Dustin Weldon, and Rudy Fuentes would be in that position. Roger Murray right there, Semlinger. So many big names. Sertucci, Graham, Morgan Graff, kind of fighting their way through the playoffs this year as well. So
I mean, no Donosky to start out the playoffs. It's like already knocks off one big bonus point number.
Absolutely.
Because the playoffs just ain't about the team. You get a gift card too.
Big prize fund in the playoffs. Big 15 places pay in the final point standings.
That's right.
Really, really, really fun time. 100 players round 1. Cut to 72 for round 2. Cut to 54 for round 3. Cut to 36 for the Tour Championship. As Bird's working on that graphic, the first 2 events. There we go. That's the one I was looking for. This is the graphic that will be in the newsletter tomorrow.
about the playoff invites. Round 1, Saturday, October 12th. That's the 100-player qualifier.
Mhm.
Cut after Saturday to round 2. Cut after that round to 54 for the following Saturday. And the top 36 at the Tour Championship at Brackenridge Park on Sunday, October 20th.
And as we just learned from Sean at Brack, you got to go get it.
You can go get it. 7 players.
Gotta go get it.
7 players qualify for the team from the final point standings. And that brings us to the final spot on the 2024 team, which is the best hour of the entire year, the 2024 horse race. The first 4 players that do not qualify for the South Texas Match Play Challenge team on the final point standings will go right to hole number 1 as the sun is setting and compete for the final spot on the team in the horse race. And it is epic awesome. It is so much fun. The horse race has seen big tour names: Jason Cross, Ruben Caraballo,
Graham.
Casey Graham, Dustin Weldon, David
Freeman,
Thomas. Big tour names have come out of the horse race. Some big names eliminated in the horse race too.
I think horse race is my ceiling this year. I think I can get in it.
I think you can get in the horse race as well. It looks like our next podcast guest, David Falconer, is not here, having technical difficulty back home, and is not joining us tonight. Is that correct?
That is an accurate statement.
Well, sorry we missed you, David, and we'll get you on this show one of these weeks. I apologize for that technical difficulty. David Falconer and Shelby Air. Jaybird, if you've got their logo and number. David Falconer and Shelby AC and Refrigeration are the tour's presenting sponsor for 2024. They service tour golfers. So when you call the number, all you got to do is tell them you're a tour golfer and that David told you to call. And Shelby AC and Refrigeration will take care of all your HVAC needs. Shout out to David, who was coming on this podcast to talk about 2025, but we won't steal all of his thunder, and we'll have him on the schedule release show in a couple weeks, as after the playoffs are over and before the South Texas Match Play Challenge week kicks off. We'll have the 2025 launch show, and we'll have David on then, and we'll talk about it.
Sounds good.
Jaybird, it's October 2nd. You're in Michigan. What you got?
Well, listen, I've been here for 2 days, and every billboard here is either an advertisement for something related to Michigan, the Wolverines, or a political advertisement because it is such a hot battleground state. It is one of the two on every freaking billboard. It's amazing. It's amazing. It is absolutely incredible.
So, I went to college about 40 miles north of where Jason's at. So I've spent a ton of time in Central Michigan. Central Michigan in fall is awesome. Pre-daylight savings time, it's great. It's light till 9 o'clock at night.
Definitely still light outside right now.
You could hit a golf ball right now. It is Western Michigan, Jason's Central Michigan, but even a little further west is the furthest west the
in the
Eastern
time
zone goes. So you get the light as late as possible. So up at Ferris State in Big Rapids, Michigan, some of those summer seasons, it's light till 10 o'clock at night. You're playing golf until 10 p.m. It's crazy awesome. I love Michigan. So hanging out in Michigan with Jaybird sounds like a blast after spending 4 or 5 days at home in Wisconsin. Black Wolf Run, Whistling Straits, and a new gem, TPC Wisconsin. Coming off a pretty cool week, going into a pretty cool week next week. One more off weekend for everybody to RSVP for the playoffs.
and prepare for their journey to the Tour Championship. Jay Bird, how are you preparing as we get to this weekend and next week? How are you preparing for your run in the playoffs from maybe a position further down the point standings than you're used to?
Well, I'm dealing with chronic back pain, so I do a lot of stretches, especially in my hotel room. The fitness center had a foam roller in it, which happens to be in my room right now. So I'll make sure to put that back when I leave.
That is also one of my favorite things about the Black Wolf Run locker room versus the Whistling Straits locker room is there's yoga mats and foam rollers at Black Wolf.
Yeah.
So
the Whistling locker rooms are nicer in the traditional sense, but the Black Wolf ones they have more accoutrement.
Yeah, that's
So,
such a great word. Such a great word.
So I'm doing a lot of foam rolling and stretching, and Morgan would be happy to hear that I'm stretching for sure. This room has a jacuzzi in it, which is great. I know you know how they tried to upgrade me out of the jacuzzi room, which was dumb as shit. Threw a fit about that. I'm like, in what world is the room without the jacuzzi the upgrade? Like, I threw a fit about it. So I've been going in there and putting the jets on once or twice a day. I try to stand up as much as possible and not sit. I go across the hallway. I've worked out tonight. So I'm trying to eat right, and I got to lose weight. That's not anything I'm preparing for in the short-term playoffs, but maybe it'll help.
Well, those are good goals. Ladies and gentlemen, my name's Travis Selkowski. Joining me tonight on this evening's show was Jason Bird and our special guest, Sean Vidal, the 2024 PC Open Gross Jacket champion, second place in the final point standings, and record-setting 9th match play team member. If you're just checking in now, go back, watch the show. The segment with Sean was awesome. Really fun tonight. Jay Bird, final thoughts?
The Brewers game's heating up. Can't wait to go watch the end of this.
Go Brew Crew. Let's go. I hate the 3-game playoff. If you win a division, it should be best of 5. I don't give a shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I think that sucks.
Fully agree with that. I don't like that a long slog of a season where you win your division ends with a 3-game banger like this.
I don't like that. But that's my
I don't
opinion.
like it either.
But we're going to turn on the Brew Crew right now and cheer on the Cheese Curds. Playoffs coming up in just over 1 week. Saturday, Sunday. 1 week to go for RSVPs. Tour travels invites in email boxes. Everything you need, final point standings wise, and information for the playoffs can be found at www.stxamtour.golf. Ladies and gentlemen, grind hard. You can't win the playoffs on the first day, but you can certainly shoot yourself in the foot.
Oh,
Everybody-
Ed Mitchell.
Man.
Oh, can't win them all, Trav.
Listen, it's okay. I enjoy the relationship that I have with Ed Mitchell. Super cool dude. Maybe went down a couple rungs on the ladder today. I'm not sure, but I'll tell you what. That is why we can't have nice things, Ed. I agree. Too bad that the Mets had to steal the Brew Crew's general manager a couple years ago to get over the hump. It's okay. But whoever wins, the Brewers were picked 4th in their division, and they're a 90-win team, so pretty happy about that.
Yeah, they had that guy Jackson Chorizo.
Churro, but I love how you said chorizo there. That's cool. It's better than Cheerio. So, everybody, thanks for watching. What a cool show. We'll see y'all in the playoffs. Talk to y'all soon.